personal knowledge about what we believe or what others believe. All need to know that life does not function well without understanding and reason. Without knowledge, we'll be left behind. Knowledge is like a light to our life. We need knowledge for everything in life. For buying food, clothes, a house, cars, for finding a spouse, friends, raising our family, for accepting or rejecting beliefs, values, and every other thing. Imagine if we closed our eyes to choose things, partners, or friends without knowing their qualities or personalities. What would the result be? Therefore, it is so vital to choose with open eyes the values that can make our political, social, and economic relationships peaceful, joyful, and meaningful. To have a right belief also requires knowledge. If we don't know the right way, we won't be able to reach our destination. With the same logic, if we do not know the right belief, we'll be lost spiritually and unable to unite with God. Life without knowledge is a total loss. An unwise man wanted to build a house, but he did not know that the house had to be built on a solid foundation. So he built it on sand. When a flood came, the house collapsed. If he had had knowledge, he would have built his house in a place where it would be resistant to a flood. Therefore, as air is vital for living, knowledge is also vital for finding a good belief. Real life should be a searching process for the best option to fulfill our needs. We cannot have the best future if we do not discover the best belief for our life. Searching is a God-given gift for everybody. Investigation must be a part of our belief. We should not follow beliefs that are closed to personal investigation and do not allow people to choose their desired beliefs. For decision making, we also need knowledge. We need knowledge to make appropriate decisions, personally or as the member of a family or a community. As our decisions affect our own individual lives, they will also affect our family and community lives through our relationships. Therefore, a decision with knowledge will be good and productive for everybody. But a decision without knowledge will be less productive or even harmful for all, especially when it is made by leaders, either in a family or in a business or in a nation. You are a leader or are going to be a leader sooner or later. You therefore need to have sufficient knowledge for appropriate decision making for having a successful personal or family life. So knowledge is vital for everything. What steps do we need to take in order to advance our personal knowledge? I'm going to give you 10 interdependent steps for gaining knowledge. The first step is that we must have our eyes and ears open. Eyes are for seeing and ears for hearing. Those who close their eyes and ears to this simple philosophy or block the path for others to see and hear degrade themselves and others against God and humanity. The eyes and ears of the true God are always open. Humanity needs to follow the same principle for truthful living. Life will be more productive if we use our eyes, ears, minds, and hearts for learning. A truth-loving person needs to look into other beliefs, listen to their messages, compare them with one another and with his own belief, choose the best for himself, and then live with its logic. Any person or belief that hinders you from searching for truth cannot be truth-loving or promote love. The second step is that we must discover the obstacles and solutions. What are the obstacles to your learning? Is your belief the obstacle? Are you the obstacle? Is your family the obstacle? Are the social and political problems in your society the obstacles? Is government or leader the obstacle? No matter what the obstacles may be, they are against you, your family, country, and even the world. You need to discover them and find the best way to rescue yourself from their effects. The third step is that we need to get our consciences to work. Conscience is an amazing agent in you for confirming and speaking truth. You should not suppress your conscience nor quiet it. A person is dead spiritually if his or her conscience does not have a voice. A free conscience accepts the correctness of another person who is correct, even if you do not like him. Those who ignore the rights of others are those who ignore the voices of their own consciences. Those who reject the best advice and way of life are those who reject the importance and credibility of their own consciences. He who ignores his own conscience will not be able to respect the rights of others. A free conscience does not allow us to belittle the rights and freedom of others, even if they are our opponents or enemies. A free conscience teaches us that there is no difference between a king and a beggar, a leader and a follower, a master and a slave, a husband and a wife. All are human and have the right for freedom. Therefore, you need to stay away from everything, including your belief, that limits your conscience. The fourth step is that we need to search for the best with thirst. We will not receive water if we do not express our thirst. Knowledge for the best values also will not be gained without thirst and initiative. Are you longing for the best and most fruitful way of life? If yes, you then need to search for it with thirst. It is the thirst for understanding and discovering that will reveal the truth to us and thereby free us from false beliefs. The fifth step is that we need to practice freedom personally. People are created for freedom. Otherwise, they will fall behind in every area of life. We need to have individual freedom and autonomy in searching for truth. Since we are individually responsible to live and demonstrate the truth via our own life, we therefore need to discover the truth with our own autonomy too. In other words, truth won't make sense for us if we do not have autonomy. A person will not be able to use his or her full capacity in search of truth without autonomy and freedom. On the other hand, if you are not able to search for truth with your full capacity, you won't be able to have the whole truth. For this reason, If anything in your society, including your belief, is limiting your God-given freedom and capacity in searching for truth, you need to find the best way to break that chain and free yourself. The practice of autonomy in investigation will bring accurate knowledge into your life, and that knowledge will open the door to you for a successful life. The sixth step is that we need to follow a belief open to freedom. No matter how wonderful your parents or forefathers were or are, they can give a belief which can block the way of your success. You need to replace that belief with a belief that opens the door of success to you and to your community. No matter how compelled you are in following your religion or belief, if it is against your freedom and autonomy, you need to replace that religion or belief with something better. All individual, family, social, political, economic, and moral improvements in developed countries are because of the courage of those men and women who dare to follow the values of a belief open to freedom. Not only did they advance, but also opened the door for the advancement of others, because they followed a belief which taught them that the advancement of others will bring advancement for themselves as well. So once again, if you have a closed belief, you need to live it and follow a belief that is open to freedom. I want to tell you with all honesty that if you follow a belief that respects your freedom and everyone else's, you will be released from the agony of a restrictive culture. Truth will set you free. The seventh step is that we need to be courageous. We as individuals need to take initiatives for our own advancement. If I, as an individual, desire advancement, I need to take the necessary steps for my own success. A personal desire for truth should create strength and thereby overcome obstacles. Courageous people can find a way out for themselves or for their family members, even when surrounded by many kinds of external pressures. Courageous people are able to step out of the circle of their closed beliefs and search for the best values. Be courageous. The eighth step is that we need to pay the price. We need to pay the price for obtaining and advancing our knowledge. We need to invest time and maybe money. Sometimes the price for gaining necessary knowledge is higher than our expectations. We need to be ready for that too. We need to be ready for the attacks of narrow-minded and superstitious people or dictators who build their interest in the ignorance of others. All of these sacrifices will be for our benefit and for the benefit of our families, societies, and the world. The ninth step is that we need to make victory our personal goal. There is no obstacle without a solution. You need to become victorious over every obstacle in life, including your belief that aims to keep you uninformed. The most practical way to overcome the obstacles of life is to discover the best belief or way of life and make it your own. Yes, you need to find the best belief. Humanity is created capable of searching and finding the best for him or herself, the best belief that gives victory over obstacles. Victory over all obstacles will be yours if you aim to have it. The 10th step is that we need to wake up our societies. Nothing but our knowledge of truth and zeal for more understanding can wake up our societies. In every possible way, we have to shine as lights of truth, paving the way for others to learn from our experiences and to shine among others. If you are alone, you have to work hard to make friends who are also searching for truth and grow in companionship so that many are awakened and freed. Also, we need to build our relationship stronger with those who have the same mission as we do until all enjoy freedom. Our awareness depends on our own choices. No one can force us to change and be aware of things unless we ourselves decide to change. If the entire armies of the world gather together and force us to wake up to the truth, we will still not be awakened truly unless there is a real desire in us. Even if the loveliest and kindest person in the world makes his way up to become our government leader, he will not be able to lead us to truth unless we desire to break the shields in our hearts and pay attention. To wake up and change is up to each of us as individuals. We need to decide to change. Let us start with ourselves. Step into the true life and be renewed. Practice matters. Let me draw a conclusion to my talk. If you believe in God, you need to know that the true God desires people to have knowledge. God is all-knowing and knows what true and false and the best and worst are. For this reason, God desires people to know the difference between truth and falsehood and to choose the truth. God is free himself and desires everybody to be free. God is perfect and he wants us to reside in perfection. Therefore, any belief that limits our freedom, knowledge, or improvement is not from God. So the first person to become free is you. The first person who needs to run to freeing belief and become free is you. Please don't say, no one is interested in practicing freedom. How can I then practice it? You need to approach freedom in this way and say, if freedom is the best, is there any reason for me to avoid it? Then the response will be, no. I have to practice freedom. I need to follow a belief which values my freedom, opens the door of knowledge and truth for me. I also said improvement becomes the catalyst for further advancement. The door of change and improvement will be open to our families and friends if we decide to change and improve. Because of us, they will also be the hands and feet for the knowledge and improvement of others. When we become the cause of change and improvement for people around us, We will advance with them in the pursuit of our own goals. That's why it is important for us to work hard so that people in our society understand that the freedom of investigation, writing, speaking, and believe are the rights of all. Stand for their rights, and if necessary, pay the price for the rights of people. Every child in our society needs to learn why we have an obligation to stay away from outrageous beliefs and follow a belief that teaches freedom, kindness, and peace. One more thing. There will not be a place for dictatorship in a free society. A society that has gained knowledge and freedom will no longer have a place for dictatorship. It is for this reason that dictators block the road to comparative knowledge so that they can rule. Dictatorship and knowledge do not go hand in hand. Knowledge of truth makes lives and relationships fruitful, beautiful in family and society.